Today we're going to talk about why am I making videos? Hello everybody. Ugh. Get comfy in my chair here. So I decided that today I was going to take a break from doing the cooking videos and do a talking video. These don't tend to do as well. I guess people like seeing me flail around the kitchen. But I wanted to talk about why I'm doing these videos. Because it's important that I tell you. And I tossed and turned last night for a long time. I even got up and started writing things down. I'm going to post a blog post if you want to read a little bit more detailed version of this video. But after doing the live Monday night, it occurred to me that, I put a lot of pressure on myself. I expect myself to do the very best at something. And then when things don't go exactly as planned, I get really upset with myself. And it's not healthy. I know that. And it's something that I'm working on. So I'm making this video kind of a way to hold myself accountable for having negative thoughts about my video making process. Because this is a learning curve. I didn't think it would be this much of a learning curve, but it is. And I appreciate everybody that is sticking with me and helping me. It means more than you will ever know. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this little video. Remember to subscribe, click the thumbs up, comment below, share with your friends. Oh, and click the bell notification too. Because if you do that, then it alerts you when I do a video. I don't know if you can hear my daughter. She's over in her swing taking a nap, so I'm trying to keep my voice as soothing as possible so that she thinks that I'm still reading to her and she will stay asleep. But yeah, so the live is funny because everybody who watched it said I did great, that I'm a natural, that I do it well, I do lives well. And I had a hard time believing that, and I forgot that I have a superpower. Most of the time, you can see on my face what I'm feeling. But I went back and I watched that video. I wasn't gonna at first because I was so upset with it. But I went back this morning actually and watched the video because I wanted to see why this video got 147 views. And I realized you can't hear my inner thoughts. And that's something that I've been trying to work on too, because a lot of times Chris can tell when I'm freaking out. And sometimes I don't even realize that I'm doing it. But I can have so many thoughts going on in my head while I'm trying to do something. And then the littlest noise, like a baby getting fussy, will just set me off. And my heart will start racing. The room just seems loud. And as I was watching it back, I realized she wasn't really being as loud as I felt. Like, maybe it was because she was right in my ear. But I started panicking because, and I gotta stop doing this. I know I've gotta stop doing this. But I started panicking because to do the lives, I feed off of the people talking to me. And that's how I am in any situation. If you put me in a crowd where there's confident people, I can hold my own. I'm not a confident person, mind you, but I can hold my own. I can carry on a conversation with them. I can laugh, whatever, be bold to get through the night. So that's what I was doing. But when the video started out, I had about 10 people watching, which I was like, oh, cool, it's a couple more than last time. And then as Alice started fussing and I started losing control, it went down to 5 people. And it hurt because I'm trying not to get emotional doing this because that's who I am. I'm an over-emotional basket case. It hurt because not knowing exactly who left, but it was like, to me it felt like I took it personal. And I shouldn't. Because as someone was telling me, some things get disconnected, whatever. So, but I took it personal. And then as soon as I saw that number drop instantly down to 5, my brain started going into freak out mode. And normally when I'm home by myself, or even when it's with Chris, it's like if my brain goes into that mode, I shut down. And usually I try to, go do something else or go hide or whatever. But when you're in the middle of a live, you can't do that. So I pushed through. And at the end of it, I got really upset. And it was just all sorts of emotional. But it really helped to see people, in the comments saying, that they liked watching me do these videos because it's relatable. Which leads me to what I kind of wanted to talk about today anyways. And if this video is a little lengthy, I'm sorry, but I'm also trying not to look at the timestamp because I've noticed that if I do that, then I get crazy and I lose my train of thought. So if this is a long video, this is a long video. If it's a short video, it's a short video. You're going to watch it, you're not going to watch it. Either way, I'm doing this for me. Water. Promises is water this time. It's only 10 o'clock, so. In the morning, not night. But anyways, so the reason I'm doing these videos. About 10 years ago, I was in my first real adult relationship in my 20s. And I moved in with this guy. And I, at that time, felt like I had nothing. It was just, he often would leave me at his house, because I never felt like it was my house. But anyways, he left me at his house and would go hang out with his friends. And I had to kind of find something to do. I cleaned a lot during that time because I worked at Walmart part-time. I didn't have a lot of money. And most of my money was going to his bills. So I didn't have a lot at the time. I had my old laptop that I connected to the internet. This was before Netflix was popular, or that I knew about it really. So I had my laptop. I could barely browse on the internet very well. It was funny because when I got a different job and I finally got my first smartphone, I had no idea what to do with it. And the guy made a joke. He was like, you need to learn how to browse the internet better. You're probably right. And this was before, Pinterest, YouTube, Facebook was kind of there, but this was like at the end of MySpace and the beginning of Facebook, so it was still, there. But I somehow stumbled on YouTube, and I found this YouTuber who his goal was to film every single day of his life for a year. And he ended up doing it. He's going on 13 years now. But I started watching this and I'm like, why would anybody want to watch this? Why would anybody care what this person does with his life? He's got over 1 million subscribers and I'm one of them. I follow him, every video I've watched, and there's been a couple that I watched multiple times. And the reason is because he is so relatable. He is a real life person, and he goes through real life things. And to me, at that time, was so important because I needed that to be able to push forward and to do more in my life. I saw him going out and doing easy things like taking his dogs to a park or going to a beach or going to Disney or whatever and just having a great time. And like I said, at that time, I did not get out much. Went to work, came home, cleaned, cooked, went to work, cycle. I didn't want to be anywhere near my boyfriend at the time. And he didn't seem like he wanted to be near me. So it was like, I clung on to this YouTube channel. And I had it in my mind, like, I could do this someday. You know, I want to be able to do things where I can record and share my life with whoever wants to watch it, 1 million subscribers or whatever. So that was actually around the time that I was going to try to start my old channel. I don't even know if it's I think it's still out there, Bruce Tales. And I was going to record Bruce doing weird things. But I think there's only 2 videos on that channel, maybe 3. And they're just slideshow pictures because I was too scared to even try to record myself. And then, you know, as I was going, I tried to do, like, videos of him running around or whatever, and I would be in the background. I didn't want to be in front of the camera yet. I was not ready for that. But I didn't have the motivation, and I didn't have the skill set that I do now. And it does take a certain amount of skill to do this. You know, I'm doing this all on my phone, which has been great. Hopefully soon I'll get my computer. Like, I don't know what's going on with that. But it's such a learning process to learn how to edit videos, and I don't do too many edits because I want to be real. I want whatever I say to not come off as fake or scripted. And because that's important to me. Because when I watch someone, I get kind of bored if it's scripted. And nobody lives like that. Like, it's not perfect. And I think I need to keep reminding myself that. People like that I'm relatable. People like that I'm ditzy and klutzy and random. It's who I am. But it's hard for me sometimes to remember that, especially when I'm having a nervous breakdown that you can't see, where you just see me smiling and, oh, everything's fine. And meanwhile, my head's going, what is going on? So, but we're working through things, you know? So, because of him, because of the Trippy family, I decided that I want to have a life worth recording. And, of course, I decided to do it during a pandemic, so it's not like I can really go do too many adventures. So I figured right now we'll stay in the house. I'll try doing cooking. Which, I have the worst anxiety in that kitchen. So I don't know what I was thinking doing that. But it's helping, I think, because I've learned a few things on the way. I now know how to whip egg whites. I didn't know that was a thing, but I did it. And another cooking thing that I did I did just an Instagram story on that one. But I didn't know how to do that, so I am taking this as learning new things. I'm learning how to try to master. There's hair in my mouth. It's driving me nuts. I'm trying to master social media because, you know, all those stupid hashtags are annoying, but it's crucial when it comes to doing stuff like this, and trying to find the right buzzword to grab someone's attention amongst millions of people who are also doing this. This is not going to be an easy journey for myself, and it's like, this is probably like the most far off thing that maybe I should try to do, but I'm still going to do it because I want to. I have a lot of dreams. You know, I want to be a writer. I am a writer. I want to be a published author. But right now, mentally, trying to edit things is just not where it's at for me right now. I have no problem writing stories. Like, that's easy. I wrote a short story about my lawnmower, okay? It's not the amount of the creativity writer's block or anything like that. It's a matter of, once I write it, then you've got to go through your story. This hair is driving me nuts. See, this is life. When you get hair stuck to your chapstick. I don't enjoy the process of having to reread my work 500 times to try to make it perfect for someone else to go through and pick it apart and then have to reread it again. So that's kind of where I'm stuck. And even if it's just something like that, if you don't love doing it, it's not fun anymore. And so far, the video process has been a lot of fun. So that's one of the reasons why I'm holding on to this. I know a lot of people want to see me write, finish my book and whatnot and get them published, but it's not that time yet. And just like 10 years ago when I tried to start a YouTube channel, it wasn't that time yet. It probably, if it would have gone off, I probably would have been a lot better off now, but I firmly believe that everything happens for a reason. Because who knows where that path would have led me at the time. So it's like, I think where I am now doing this is the right time. So someday, when I've got my full-time YouTube gig, maybe I'll have the energy and the mentality to want to do my writing again. So this is such a rambly video. If you guys are still here, I thank you. But it is important for me to be relatable, to continue to have fun, and I'm learning new things. And I hope that someday I will be someone's inspiration. Because the Trippy family, even his sister started her own YouTube channel, and I've watched these people go through life. They have had apartments, moved out of other apartments, different jobs, bought houses, got married, got divorced, got married again, had babies, life. And they helped me realize when I was in my toxic relationship that I was in way too long because I was stubborn, that it's okay to do things to make you happy. That it's okay to not give up, but realize this isn't where you're supposed to be. And I don't know where I would be if I didn't have that, because sometimes you need an outside source to make you realize where you're at in life isn't what you want. So when when Charles Trippy's sister was going through her breakup, it was like they didn't hate each other. They weren't, they just weren't for each other. And that was so important for me to see that process and hear them talk about it and share their life with. I've never met these people. I'll probably never meet these people. But they helped me realize this isn't what I want. So now I need to take the steps to find out what I do want. And that was the best decision I've ever made. Because then eventually I found my husband, who is way more compatible to me and just absolutely supportive and wonderful. And we have a baby girl. And I never thought I was going to be a mom. That was never in the cards for me. I didn't want kids with that other person. I am on this path, and it's been great. So now I changed careers. Before we moved into this house, I decided that I was going to leave the bank that I worked at for 8.5 years. Mostly because the scheduling wasn't going to work for me the way because when I went on maternity leave, it was promised to me a certain way, and then when I went back, they were like, we can't do that. So, because I didn't want to be full-time anymore. I was a mom. I didn't want to put my kid in daycare. That is my biggest thing. I do not want to put my kid in daycare. So if I can find a way to avoid it, I'm gonna. So I got a different job. And even though that job was what I would consider the worst job I have ever had, I think it was what I was supposed to do, because it gave me some time to kind of prepare, in a sense. I don't know. I don't know if I'm making any sense to anybody, but when we moved into this house, I was getting frantic because not only was I moving a little bit further away from my support system, I had no idea what I was going to do for a career, and I still didn't want to put my kid in daycare. And during this COVID nonsense, that was the last thing I wanted to have to worry about. So when the opportunity of me being able to stay home for a while came up, I was like, this is the perfect time to try to start this dream that I thought of 10 years ago. And so here we are. And do I think I'm going to make it rich doing this? No, probably not. And that's okay, because it's not about the money. If I could make an income doing this, that would be great, because I would love to continue to do this. This would be a job that I could say that I loved. But mostly, it's just fun. It's giving me something to look forward to. It's giving my brain the creative juices flowing again. It's giving me a reason to get up and straighten my hair and put on some makeup. Because if I'm the type of person that if I don't feel productive, I get really depressed. And lately, I mean, when you're home, and I'm sure a lot of people who have actually done this whole quarantine thing like we were supposed to, and didn't have to go to work, I feel like a lot of people probably feel that way. You know, it's like being home 24/7 and still trying to feel somewhat productive and still trying to find that balance of being happy and doing something that you love is probably really challenging for a lot of people. So doing this gives me that I have something to do. Like I said last night, I was tossing and turning because I was having this conversation in my head of how this video was going to go. And so far, I'm pretty proud of myself that it's actually stayed on task for the most part. But I had this conversation in my head, and it was funny because when I was really into my writing and I was working on a book, some of the best ideas always come to you when you're sleeping or when you're trying to go to sleep. So it's like I always have a notepad next to my bed. So it's like doing that again is bringing me joy. Even though I wake up tired and cranky, I'm still like, I've got ideas for videos. We're going to do this. So I hope that it's enjoyable. It's been enjoyable for me to do. So yeah, thank you for supporting me in this venture of mine. And hopefully you kind of have a little bit more insight of why I'm doing this, how I'm doing with it. And, because a lot of you kind of know me, but a lot of you know more of the customer service Casey. Did you know that I had multiple personalities? There's customer service Casey, there's anxiety girl, and there's Flip. And nobody likes Flip. But I feel like a lot of times people just think that, I don't know if anybody ever thinks that I have it together. I tried to portray that when I was at work, but a lot of times I get overwhelmed easily. And like I said, if there's like a sound when I'm overwhelmed, it just sets me off. It's like a trigger. And I've been trying to be more mindful of like what triggers the anxiousness, and too much sound when I'm trying to focus on something is the biggest trigger. Like, even if, I'm trying to read something and the TV is too loud, I can just, like that, hulk out and just want to throw things. So I'm trying to be mindful of that. So bear with me because I would love to keep doing the lives. But for me to do them when it's convenient for everybody else isn't exactly convenient for me. So it's like I'm still working on the scheduling. I think I'm going to try to do a little bit later. Hopefully that'll accommodate other people as well. And maybe I can not freak out and have a meltdown that apparently nobody could see, even though I was feeling it. Like, I don't know, I was watching it and I was like, oh, okay, I was keeping it together pretty cool. But when I was putting the lime juice in the pan, I was shaking so bad that it just was like going all over the pan, which, I mean, I guess that works out. But, and I don't even think I measured it right. Like, I just was like, I just want to be done. And so I thought that was kind of funny when I was watching it. I'm like, couldn't really see that I was crying on the inside. But, so yeah. Anyways, that's my video. That's my ramblingness. If you made it to, what do we got? 26 minutes? Could be worse. So, I hope you enjoy. And remember, if you do enjoy, click the like button. Because the more likes I get, the more YouTube will be like, we need to share this person with everyone. Not just the inner circle, with everyone. And same with Facebook. The more you like stuff, the more you'll see my stuff, and the more other people will see my stuff. The algorithm is ridiculous, but we gotta fight it so I can keep pushing forward and keep getting new people to join the randomness. Thank you. I think the beast is starting to wake up. We did it, guys. We did a video without her screaming. I hope you have a random day. And Friday, I've got a challenge in mind for my dad. So be sure to tune in.